everybody. So I just wanted to make this video because I legit have been using my notebook that was made for me, and legit, let me show you. This is my notes, thoughts, and opinions on the WRTR. 1, 2.5 pages of notes, back and front. So anyway, I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I want to stay on track, and I don't want this video to be crazy long. It is actually like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I have been up since 12:56. It's just one of those days. Anywho, when I got up this morning, I jumped on YouTube just to, kind of watch some stuff, catch up on some things, because as you know, at the women's RTR, there was no signal for most of us. So, my suggested videos, the homepage was flooded with a lot of videos about women's RTR. A lot of people leaving women's RTR, the negative stuff they had to say about the, which I'm going to say WRTR sometimes, same thing. Just a bunch of opinions and drama and unfortunate issues that happened, and you can't please everyone, and sometimes you get a big huge group of women together and it gets even worse. So I decided to do a video myself on my thoughts, opinions, and takeaways for the WRTR 2019. So honestly, I really just, I want to say that the first thing is, it's easy to go to an event and have opinions about how it's done. That's easy. 100% easy. So easy to just go, show up, and criticize everything that was done. You have you're not invested in it. You didn't put any time into it. You didn't put any money into it. No resources. So it's easy to just show up and say, oh, I wouldn't have done that, or oh, these rules are ridiculous. That's the easy thing to do and say. So I'm asking people watching these videos full of drama and hatred and trying to spark fuel and seek attention, take them with a grain of salt. Yes, I'm not downplaying the fact that somebody may have had an issue with someone or things couldn't have been handled differently. That's very well possible, but is it really necessary to blow it out of proportion or to cause drama for the sake of views, the sake of, upping your channel to a higher status, or to make money, because we know those videos full of drama sell. So anyway, it's also easy for those people who have a lot to say about van life but sit at home and don't live the van life. There are two people in particular I'm thinking of, and they're both men. So they're going to have a lot to say about the women's RTR, and they both sit at home, and what they do is they watch van dwelling YouTubers videos, and then they form opinion based on the videos. They've never attended a van dwelling event, and they, it's just ridiculous. So that's the first thing I want to say. I can only give my opinion based on my experience. I can only give my opinion based on what I saw, what I heard, the sessions I attended, the people I talked to, and what happened around my camp area. So you can't take what each person is saying and say that, that's the norm for the whole thing. You just can't do that. My overall experience was good from women's RTR. Of course, there are things that I didn't like, but, that's going to be no matter what event you go to. I mean, you can go to a concert that you've paid $100 for a ticket, and they didn't sing the one song that's your favorite song, and you're going to be upset about it. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I also want to say I do not envy Bob, Sue Ann, Jude, Casey, the rest of the staff and volunteers. I do not envy them in the least bit, because it takes a lot to put on a huge event. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. details, energy, wear and tear on their body, loss of sleep, wear and tear on their vehicles because they're up running back and forth to, you know, Parker, to Quartzsite, to Bouse, to Lake Havasu, to get things that they need, to order things, you know, time on the computer. It takes a lot to put on this event, the 2 events associated with cheaprvliving.com. So before I get into any of my opinions and everything, I just want to say a huge thank you to that group and just say thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for all that you do, because I couldn't do it. I honestly couldn't do it. So thank you guys so much. That's the first thing I want to say. Thank you so much. Now, like I said, my overall opinion of WRTR was good. But I'm definitely glad they did it this year before RTR, because a lot of women were on the fence about coming to RTR, were nervous, and a lot of them, a few that I talked to anyway, this was their first time camping, living, road tripping in their vehicle. So the WRTR was definitely like a precursor or a warm-up or a trial run. And a lot of them changed their minds after going to WRTR and have now come over here to RTR because they found a little tribe or traveling companion or a small group that they can park with and feel comfortable with, because they just spent the last, you know, 4 to 5 days with these women, getting to know them. And so they feel confident knowing that they can park with that same group and not be so intimidated. A lot of them aren't planning on staying the whole time. They'll stay a few days. Some of them want to stay the whole time, but they feel more confident. And I feel like that was a very good decision to make women's RTR before regular RTR. So thumbs up on that one. I know a lot of people I talked to were like, no, we weren't going, but we think we're going to go for a couple days now. So it's really, really good that they get to experience RTR as well and feel more comfortable and confident. So some of the opinions about the rules that most of the YouTubers seem to have an issue with or are using in order to fuel their drama videos and the overall negativity of WRTR. I mean, you don't have to stay at the event. You don't have to park at the event. You don't even have to attend these seminars. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to be there. Once you were there that first day and heard the rules, if you weren't happy with them, you could have left. And if you didn't intend on leaving, but wanted to break the rules, then that was on you to suffer whatever consequences the people holding the event deemed necessary. I'm a YouTuber. I didn't film. I filmed one tour video the whole time. But I didn't film my camp. I didn't film people around me because I didn't want to have to spend all that extra time editing out people's faces and blurring them and blurring out license plate numbers, and because it was supposed to be a safe space. They've been saying that on videos. A lot of people made the excuse that I'm not in the Facebook group, so I didn't know. I'm not in the Facebook group either, but I also know that you cannot film, or you shouldn't film, I should say, at a big event like that when you've been asked not to. We as women have a hard time being safe. Even before the official Me Too movement, we've always struggled with being safe. And a lot of women are running from abusers, and a lot of women are not consenting to be on YouTube. They don't have YouTube channels that have videos on them because they don't want their face out there in the public forum. So if you're asked at an event that you are attending, even though it's on public land, to please not film people, then don't film people. There's so much things you could film that won't include a person who has not given you their permission. So it's easy to do. It really is. And if someone happens to walk in front of your camera, it's easy to blur them out or edit that out. You stop, you put your camera down, you let them walk past, and you put it back up and you continue with your filming. So anyway, I don't want to get on a soapbox about that. I really don't. to be honest, there was really no signal out there. And that's probably my most negative takeaway is there was no signal. So, yeah, I did not want to be in a location with no signal. Like, I couldn't even call anyone sitting right next to me or text or anything. So in an emergency situation, I know they would have had me covered, and they went over that there was emergency services available, and they, you know, in a real emergency, I would have been okay. But you still like to be in touch with people that you're normally in touch with. So, I just think that people need to realize when they're attending someone else's event who's done, you know, like a year's worth of work possibly, that there are going to be rules. And if you don't want to abide by the rules, then maybe you need to not come to the event. It's just as a YouTuber, I just appreciate those other people who either have a channel or just trying to start a channel. I appreciate them for practicing restraint and not filming. And because I personally didn't want to be in anybody's video. So there was one particular woman who was driving past our camp with her camera, her cell phone out in her hand, filming as she drove past. And we were like, you know, please stop filming. We're sitting at our campfire hanging out talking, and she's driving down the long main road with her camera in her hand like this, filming. And it's like, please don't do that. I mean, you're getting everyone's license plate numbers. Like, you know, that's just not safe. So just, I appreciate the people who decided not to film even though they probably really wanted to. And there's lots of things I could have filmed and had good footage to share with you guys, but it was not worth, you know, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I think if I wasn't doing any of the sessions or talks, if I wasn't on a panel, so I had 3 different things that I did, and it was tiring, especially since I had no plans on coming in the first place. Definitely, I would have done more vehicle tours. So that's definitely something I wish I could change, is the fact that I didn't do, but I only did 1 vehicle tour. So that's something I would have changed. And that's different because you have their permission. Even the 1 vehicle tour I did do, they did not want to be on camera. So you just hear our voices as you watch the tour. So, you know, that's fine. I've had that happen before. Not everybody wants to be on camera, and they should be allowed that right. Basically, they should just be allowed that right to not have their face, image, vehicle, and tag plastered all over YouTube for thousands of people to see. With that said about vehicle tours, what are some interview questions that you guys wish we would ask as interviewers when we do vehicle tours? Go down in the comment section below and post your questions, because I plan to do some vehicle tours here at RTR, and I'd love to get those questions before I start filming. So my main takeaway of WRTR is, it is what it is, basically. Their event, their time, energy, and money put into making it, their rules, like it or not, either follow them or don't come. It is what it is, and that's as simple as it goes. The other thing I'll say is, you might learn something, you might improve on something that you've already been doing, or you might have something to share with someone. So go, put your camera down, focus on the people there, focus on the time there, focus on getting some info or giving some info, and just enjoy it. Plain and simple. So the few things that I wasn't necessarily happy with, or I wasn't feeling, I just didn't bother to go. I didn't bother to participate. I just stayed at my rig. That's not to say that I did not get a little bit snippy. I did. Ms. V can attest to that. You know, it's just, but that was more individual people and things that kind of happened at our camp area. So it had nothing really necessarily to do with the WRTR. There were some things I thought were silly as far as rules go, but I could understand why it was a rule. But also I felt like it was a lot of trying to please everybody. And because I'm not in the Facebook group, I wasn't part of the overall discussion, and I wasn't part of the overall probably polls and opinions that were asked. So I'm sure there was a lot of trying to please everybody that was saying they were coming. but maybe next time, you know, some of those things can be tweaked just a little bit. I will say that having only 2 sessions per day, a 10 a.m. and a 2 p.m., did not allow a lot of women to participate in things that they wanted to participate in. So maybe having like 4 sessions a day or even 3 sessions a day, so that women can participate in other things, that would be nice. That way they could get the most information possible in a day. And a lot of people just don't get up in the morning, so having a 10 a.m. session wasn't, you know, really conducive to their nomadic lifestyle. So, you know, whatever was left at 2 p.m., that might not have been something they were interested in. So, you know, maybe having something at 9 or 10, and then something around, you know, an hour after that, have something around noon, because nobody eats lunch right at noon. Maybe have something at noon, maybe have something at, you know, 2, and then have something at 4, something like that. Just to break it up so that if I wanted to go to 2 different things in the same day, I don't necessarily have to go to the 10 o'clock one. I can go to the noon one, or the 2 o'clock, or even the 4 o'clock one. So something like that. That would be something I would suggest, is just more availability to go to sessions during the day instead of just 2 times a day. Overall, I'm glad I went. I'm glad I shared the little knowledge that I had to share. And I just want to thank Sue-Ann for contacting me and asking me to come and be a part of it. I will say that if she asks me to speak again next year, I will not park there at that location if they're there at the same place. I will have to camp somewhere else with signal and just drive over to do my session and then go back. Now I'm happily here at RTR 2019, and I'm in my same campsite as last year. I'll put the link in the corner showing you how to get to my campsite from the Dollar General here in Quartzsite. And I'm going to leave the negativity of WRTR and RTR to the attention-seeking YouTubers. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to enjoy my time. I'm going to hopefully get some tour videos and just hang out at the fire and chill. Thanks for watching, guys. I love you so much. Mwah.